Hey guys, just checking down in here from Clearwater. Just watched a disgraceful game. Figure this would come in, this would boost our confidence. Should be an easy win, right? This team's competing for a lottery pick. 18 wins. There's only 3 other teams that have a lower record than they do. And we can't even beat them. And I'm tired of hearing the excuses of we have no Embiid, we don't have our best player. So what? You look at the talent in the starting 5, it's a joke. The time that we need to get rid of Brett Brown. It's the only thing that can be done. The chemistry this, the chemistry that, blah, blah, blah. No communication. How do you not stick the other team's best player on that last play? I mean, it's baffling to me. Baffling. And then you got the end of the game where he does miss the free throw and there's .5. And the shot clock goes off without anybody touching the ball. And Brett doesn't even say anything. He just chalks it up and is like, oh, okay, we'll just walk to the back. We'll take the L. He has no idea what is going on. We've known this for a while. He's completely lost. And he should be worried for his job. They should just get it over with now and fire him. Have an interim coach because we're going to get knocked out in the first round. They think by the weight of bringing JoJo by one player coming back is just going to turn the tide. He has no idea what to do without Joel Embiid in the lineup. One player. He knows how to work a team with one player in it. You can't rely on that. One player does not make a team. You look at the ill-advised turnovers, the ability to not score the basketball. J.J. Redick, when we did have the lead with that ill-advised 3 with a fresh 24, just jacks up a 3. He was 2 of 8 tonight. He needs to get him out of the starting lineup, in my opinion. He should come off the bench, and we should put whoever else, James Ennis. I don't even care. But watching JJ night in and night out get continuously attacked by other teams because he's a huge defensive liability. When you have a huge defensive liability like that, it's up to the coach to mask his inability to defend and make up for it. You had him in at the end of the game, too, which shouldn't be, because that point of attack, they're just going to go right at you. How many times did they run that high pick and roll with Robin Lopez and Zach LaVine? I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it, right? Of course they're going to continue to run it if you can't stop it. And it just proved it, and it was the game winner at the end of the game. I knew they were going to do it, because they've been doing it all game without stopping it. You don't want to have Mike Scott on him anyway. At all. Because he cooked Mike Scott 3 times earlier in the game. So Jimmy should have never sagged off and went on Brook Lopez. You're one of our better defenders. You follow him all the way around. They should have doubled him, pancaked him. And if Brook Lopez makes the shot, or not Brook, I'm sorry. If Robin Lopez makes that shot and we lose, okay, cool. But it should have never came to that. We got leads, big, not big leads. I mean, we had an off night with Tobias Harris. Happens. Simmons had 5 turnovers again. Another game where he has a ton of turnovers. It's a joke. You look to pick up games, especially we would have tied Indiana for 3rd if we would have won this game. This is where you have to pick up. If we wait, and Boston's coming, we're going to continue to fall. There is 4 good teams, including, 5 if you include us, in the East. And we have a losing record against all of them except for Indiana. But you cannot make up ground if you cannot win games against lottery teams. It's a joke. So supposedly Embiid's going to come back against the Rockets on Friday, and then Boban's going to be coming back. But, yes, we have injuries, but they're all NBA players. Okay, you still have Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, J.J. Redick's decent. Okay, I'm not saying he's great, but still, it's an absolute joke. I can't. It pains me to watch this team because they don't block out. It's just the same shit over and over again. I feel like a broken record. Just fire this guy now. I can't. There's nothing else to say. It's the same shit over and over. Turnovers. They don't block out. There's lack of energy, and there's no creativity on the offensive end. It's the high dribble handoff to JJ from the top of the key. They're just obsessed with taking threes, and we have no knockdown jump shooters. Look how successful they were when they attacked the basket. They stray away from it towards the end of the game. Why are you not attacking the basket? Just go at them. But no. Nope, not Brett Brown. Ennis had his best game as a Sixer since we got him. 7 games in, he had a very decent game. So, put him in at the starting 2. You know, have some firepower, JJ coming off the bench. The hell? He hasn't had a good game. He's had one good game in the past week and a half. And that was last night when we lucked out and beat the Magic. Harris didn't touch the ball enough. Nope. No, he didn't. Tobias was non-existent in this game. Absolutely no touches. Like, towards the end before that, they messed up on the .5, okay, where they said we touched it. Why are you not trying to get a shot off? Kick it in at Tobias Harris to get the shot off. Why are you trying to lob it in to Jimmy Butler, who has no position? It's getting blocked out by Zach LaVine, who has a 42-inch vert. Jimmy Butler's not going to out-jump Zach LaVine. That breakdown at the end, there was too much time. I knew we were going to blow it. And that's the 5th game we lost by leading with 3 quarters. 5th time. Those five wins would have been huge. You know? We'd be sitting in 3rd right now, trying to chase down the 2 seed. But no. We're continuously saying the same shit over and over, losing to below, not even below average, doormat teams. Doormat teams. These guys are vying and playing for Zion Williamson right now. It's Brett Brown. It's the whole coaching staff. Clean house, Joshua Harris. You want to make a statement? You're talking about you're going to be unhappy. The city's going to be unhappy. Yeah. You know, you're lucky Bryce Harper got signed here because a lot of the pressure is going to be taken off you. Because everybody's getting ready for Philly spring training. So, if that does happen, if you happen to get knocked out in the first round, the blow's going to be a little less. But still, as a Sixers fan, as a huge basketball fan, I don't want to see that happen with the amount of talent we have on this team. Sure, we're not perfect, but we should be able to handle an 18-win team. They've been playing better since they acquired Otto Porter. Zach LaVine is awesome. He always has been. I think he dropped way too low in the draft a few years ago. And they got an up-and-coming star in Lauri Markkanen. They had more energy in the 4th quarter. They had a chip on their shoulder. Of course they want to show up a 41-win team coming in. The first final play inbound by Simmons was atrocious. It was terrible. Awful. You know, I saw times where Ben just had no energy at all. He wasn't hustling. He was just kind of taking plays off. Yeah, Zaire Smith would be huge. You know, if we could ever get a first-round pick to actually play his first year in the NBA, be awesome. Because their ability to just have either one pass or one play to get to the rim, it's a disgrace. There is no defensive schemes drawn up. They don't know what they're doing out there. None of the Sixers coaching staff. Did you love it at the end of the game, too? When Brett Brown was trying to draw something up after they called them back out from the locker rooms, Ben just shoved the clipboard away. Because why am I going to listen to you? The game's over. You don't know what you're doing in the first place. Get out of here. Brett Brown is a schmuck. A bona fide moron who got a job strictly because of Greg Popovich. Only reason. The one mistake Hinkie had made. A player's fault? Eh. What didn't he do wrong? I love how people love to stick up for Brett Brown. Do you see anything changing? Anything? From night in and night out. It is always the same mistakes over and over. And then they don't talk about the games afterwards. He says he's always going to go back and look and review, and he doesn't get on his players. He doesn't hold his players accountable. Nothing ever changes. So whose fault is that? You have to make adjustments. if you're going to be a coach. He doesn't do it. They ran that high pick and roll at the top of the key 6 or 7 times with Robin Lopez and Zach LaVine. Not one adjustment was made. And it ended up giving them the game winner. Yes, it was a brain fart by the defense, but what about the other 6 times during the game that it happened? I mean, everybody has eyes. Brett Brown has eyes. You're not going to sit there and make an adjustment? Come on. He don't care. Brett Brown doesn't know what's going on. His interviews are so lackadaisical, and they're a joke. And they make no sense. I think when they played the Magic, he was talking about something being organic. And then tonight, he was talking about camaraderie and how great it is to have vets on the team. It is so abstract and out of left field. He has no idea what's going on. He has no idea. Just get rid of him. Please. Please. Because the way it's shaping up, I mean, Boston could probably easily pass this, but you got 17 games left. And it's not very tough. Got the Rockets. It's going to be a tough game. And you can't handle an 18-win, well, now 19-win Bulls team. How are you going to go into... We had a good game against Harden last time, but now you're going to have CP3 back. Jimmy is over it. He was frustrated. He wanted to come in, and at least he got some shots tonight. Okay, I was happy with the amount of shots that he was able to take tonight. Being that it is his old team, he wanted to show him up. He had 22 points. So he had a decent game. I don't know, but nobody gets on them. You ain't going to get yelled at. You're going to take plays off, or you want to have lack of energy. Nobody's going to hold you accountable. So, hey, what the hell? What's it matter? They don't care. Doesn't seem like it. It's just frustrating. And then the lineup where he has Simmons and Scott playing the 4 and 5. I can't stand that lineup. And he continuously plays it. Always. At the end of the game, he leaves J.J. Redick in, who's a huge defensive liability. Teams continuously attack him specifically, but yet he leaves him in. How about swap offense for defense? Let's do that. Why don't you work that in a little bit? Because as it was, James Ennis had a better game than J.J. Redick, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Good. Best shooter. Cool. He was 2 from 8 tonight. And 4 games prior to that, he was 6 for 26. I don't care how good of a shooter he was. He played like shit tonight. Put him on the bench. He's a defensive joke. He doesn't even play defense. I don't care how good he shoots. No, he doesn't. Might as well have a 4-on-5 out there. He's streaky. You know? So, just disappointing. I think we're all going to set ourselves up for a big disappointment. I'm not saying, yeah, come off the bench, because this starting 5 ain't going to work. You're acting like J.J. Redick's Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. Exactly, John Gotti. Consistency. He takes a lot of ill-advised shots, especially on the fast break. He does it a lot where he'll stop and just jack up a 3. Or it happened tonight. When we got the rebound, we were up 3, I believe. Got the fresh 24. And as opposed to setting up a play, he just jacks up another 3. Takes a lot of ill-advised 3s. I can't stand that shit. Pisses me off. But for his... it's JJ, and then it's Brett not being able to mask his inefficiencies. Or... a lot of our players' inefficiencies. You know, coach is supposed to bring out your great qualities. I don't really see Brett doing that a lot. It's hard to establish a rhythm when your coach is incomplete. And, incompetent and turns the ball over every 2 seconds. Yep. Or can't draw up a play other than the high dribble handoff. I mean, again, I sound like a broken record. It's the same shit over and over every night. No energy, no blocking out. How many times we see it tonight? They had 16 offensive rebounds, where you had 4 Sixers, and Robin Lopez got to the ball every single time. Yes, he does, Rod. Funny how Amir is hot, right? Always shocked me. Hey, Amir, you got to give the guy credit. I dog him a lot. I dog him a ton. But he's been given heart these past 2 games. One bright spot on the team. Yeah, you look at all the injuries we have with Boban, Embiid, Bolden. Gotta give it to Amir for having the fight. He is slow and inconsistent and turns the ball over sometimes, but he does go out there and give it his all. I mean, he did drive down for that G League. You got to give him credit for that. Yeah, and I don't like that one play where there was no ball movement. It was a lot of stagnant offense tonight in the half court. But it was, I think there was 3 or 4 minutes left where it was after the timeout, right? Where they kicked the ball around and it was a play set for Amir to shoot the 3. I mean, what the hell is that? Terrible. If you want to set up a play for somebody to shoot the 3, have it be Tobias or somebody that's got a high percentage shooting downtown. It's a headache, man. It's a headache. So I just think change needs to be made. Been preaching it for a while. I think we're setting ourselves up for a big letdown come playoff time. Because he gets out-coached many a nights. Some guys just can't be head coaches. That's all there is to it. Some guys are assistant head coaches, and our biggest mistake was letting Lloyd Pierce walk out the door. He would have been a great interim head coach and possibly head coach. But you let him walk, goes to the Hawks. I think the Hawks can turn stuff around in about 2 years with Lloyd Pierce. He's got them balling right now, that's for sure. I'm just worried that they're not going to have the balls, whether it's Joshua Harris or Elton Brand, to fire him. You know, with this big trade, it might help lean towards that way of getting rid of Brett. But he's tight in with the organization, the Sixers brass, kind of like Andy was with Jeff Lurie. Kind of overstayed his stay almost. But we will see. How do you really explain that if you do get knocked out in the first round with the team that you have? Will they make excuses and say, oh, time chemistry? Blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Have to see. That's about it, though. That's all I have to say. My face is burnt to shit, as you can see. Sixers lose 108-107 to the Chicago Bulls. Wow. Chicago Bulls. Sixers, though, a lot of times do play down to their competition. They expect to come on in and wipe the floor with these teams that are pretty much playing for a lottery spot, playing for Zion Williamson, let's say, and they just expect to come and win. But you got to play the games to win. And they didn't. No energy, no offensive prowess, no offensive game planning, no adjustments. Big blow at the end of the game where we leave the best player on the other teams. Just leave him wide open. On the play that's been killing us all game. High pick and roll with Robin Lopez. We'll all just chase 3 guys, go to Robin Lopez, and leave Zach LaVine wide open. And to give him the 3-point play to boot. Even better. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Frustrating. At least the Phillies play tomorrow. That will brighten my spirits. Sixers play again Friday. Supposedly we'll have Joel Embiid back, but he hasn't played in a really long time. And his conditioning was questionable before. Now that he's had all this time off, talking about chemistry, consistency, and gelling, how are you going to reinsert him back into this team and just expect us to be back the way we were cooking before? I don't know. A lot of question marks, guys. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Disappointing loss, but I think a change needs to be made. Fire Brett Brown. I'm out. Peace.